Good evening, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to a brand new episode of Pressing Matters. This is episode number 7. I am your host, Daniel Torres. I hope everyone is having a great first week of November. Again, soccer's in full swing. Champions League play. MLS is in the playoffs. So we're full swing in soccer. Of course, this is a World Cup year. We're just 1 month away, as Gianni Infantino, president of FIFA, has announced yesterday on social media. We are 1 month away from the FIFA World Cup draw. Qualifications is just wrapping up. Of course, for the World Cup draw, there will be some spots that will be allocated to groups that will be empty because there is World Cup playoffs. And that is not determined until we get closer to the World Cup. I believe in March is the World Cup playoffs. So there will be some empty groups that will be allocated, spots, should I say, that will be allocated to groups that have not been decided yet. But for the most part, we should know a majority of the countries that will be participating in the 2026 FIFA World Cup here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Now, before we get into our rundown of business, this is a soccer podcast, but I want to talk about something that occurred today. Honestly, it's quite sad. It was a very somber, heart-wrenching start to Thursday. I woke up, had some personal matters to attend to. So while I was getting ready, and it's literally as I was getting ready, I see that Miami Heat head coach Erik Spoelstra's house completely engulfed in flames. And he's lost his house. We do know that the Miami Heat were playing the Denver Nuggets last night. And just 25 minutes before the Miami Heat landed in Miami is when the fire started at his house in Coral Gables. And there's images of him getting there at that wee hours of the morning. You can imagine the pressure, the stress. I mean, you just got off of a loss to the Nuggets, long flight back home. It's probably exhausted, tired. It's very early in the morning, 4:30 a.m., and your house is completely on fire, everything inside. I know it's vanity, right? It's just material stuff, but for homes, for I would say a good amount of people, it's your privacy. It's the place where you relax, where you wind down, whether you observe your Sabbath, right? And that was very sad news, honestly. And I do think that some reporters, in my opinion, have taken it too far. I think that we at Plug Talk Sports, yes, we posted this morning a reel of the house, and that was it. That is the only post you will get from us on Plug Talk Sports regarding the matter. But some reporters really just clip after clip after clip, just bombarding social media feeds of just continued footage of his house. And I agree with a sports agent that I saw tweet something to one of these reporters, and he said, "All right, enough, man. Like, give the man some privacy and his family as well. This is very tough." And I agree. I mean, some of these reporters, and you guys know I am in the sports media field. Some of these people can be blood-sucking mosquitoes, and just will do anything for clickbait and for attention. And I think one video or just reporting the news is enough, but the constant videos and over again and showing the extent of the damage and going through every corridor of the house, like, we get it. Give the man some privacy. And these are local reporters as well, which is even more saddening, But yeah, God bless Erik Spoelstra and his family. And, he has a community behind him. Miami loves Coach Spo. And I hope that they can fix this. And, there's obviously nothing to replace that house and what was in it. But he can find a new home, and it can feel like home again. And then just a second thing, I would say about 10 to 15 minutes right after seeing that news. Obviously, you guys know I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so this one hits a little bit closer to home. But I think for the entire NFL community and people that follow the NFL, this was very tragic. Marshawn Kneeland, defensive player for the Dallas Cowboys, passed away today at the age of 24. His agent breaking the news, and then the Dallas Cowboys giving a statement. Now, you may ask, how did this happen? In a couple weeks prior, Marshawn Kneeland had been personally saying to people ideation of suicide and was going through some mental health struggles until last night. He was going to get pulled over for a traffic violation and decided not to stop and just kept leading the police on a high-speed pursuit into Frisco. I believe it was Frisco. The police lost Kneeland, but then later on they find Kneeland's car crashed on the side of the highway, and then shortly after they find Kneeland deceased by a self-inflicted gunshot wound that ended his life at just 24 years of age. And this just, people say, well, I don't get it. I mean, just scored a touchdown on Monday Night Football, plays for the Dallas Cowboys, one of the most iconic and famous and most rich organization in the entire world. He has it all. But folks, that doesn't matter. You can have it all and still be depressed because it's just materialistic things. And rest in peace, Marshawn Kneeland. I'm thinking about his family. I know he had a girlfriend. I know his mother was no longer with us. But the rest of his extended family, I'm just praying for them tonight. It's very sad. And I pray for the Dallas Cowboys organization, everybody involved in the organization that knew Marshawn, and that God is with them tonight and in the coming days. But the point is, again, you never know what someone is going through. You guys know I'm a big advocate with my platform for mental health. You guys know my story with mental health. No, really, if there's any of you out there that are listening to this, you are loved. God loves you. Your family, your friends love you. And you all have a special gift on this earth. And you all have a mission on this earth. And if you guys, any of you are struggling, you can reach out to me personally. But obviously, I am not a licensed professional. So if you guys really, if you need help, don't be afraid. Especially men, please do not be silent. Reach out for help. Talk about it. It helps. And just work through the motion and getting back in control of your life, as well as surrender that control to God. Because ultimately, He is in control of our lives and He has a plan for our lives. So, again, reach out for help if you guys need it. And just devastating and tragic for Marshawn Kneeland, 24 years of age again. May he rest in peace. On lighter terms here, let's get into our first item on the agenda. And we're going to discuss the UEFA Champions League this week. Well, I'm going to just run you guys through the standings right now, where we stand in the table for the Champions League. Remember, we are in the league phase now. It's no longer groups. And, of course, 1 through 8 qualify for the round of 16 in this format. And positions 9 through 24 go to the knockout phase playoffs to be able to make it to the round of 16. And then 25 through 36 are eliminated. So let's go through it. Right now, number 1 is Bayern Munich. At 2 is Arsenal. At 3 is Inter Milan. At 4 is Manchester City. At 5 is PSG. At 6 is Newcastle United. At 7 is Real Madrid. At 8 is Liverpool. So as of right now, those 8 would be qualifying for the round of 16. So from 9 all the way down to 24 as it stands in the moment are in the knockout playoffs to make it to the round of 16. And it starts at 9 with Galatasaray, 10 with Tottenham, 11 Barcelona, at 12 Chelsea, at 13 Sporting Lisbon, at 14 Borussia Dortmund, and then we have at 15 FK Qarabag, at 16 Atalanta, at 17 Atletico de Madrid, 18 PSV Eindhoven, at 19 Monaco, at 20 Paphos, at 21 Bayer Leverkusen, at 22 Club Brugge, at 23 Eintracht Frankfurt, and at 24 Napoli. So those teams right now are in the knockout playoffs. And then I will tell you now from 25 down to 36 the teams that would be eliminated if the Champions League were to end today. At 25, Olympique Marseille. At 26, Juventus. At 27, Athletic Bilbao. At 28, Union Saint-Gilloise. At 29, Bodo. At 30 is Slavia Prague. At 31 is Olympiacos. 32, Villarreal. At 33, Copenhagen. At 34 is Kairat Almaty. At 35, Benfica. And at 36, dead last, 0 points alongside Benfica, Ajax Amsterdam. So a little bit of surprises there on the teams that are going to be knocked out at the moment. Let's go over this week's match days. So this takes us to Tuesday, November 4th. And the first game we're going to talk about is a 1-0 victory for Liverpool over Real Madrid. Oh boy. First, I want to start this game being in Anfield. I want to start with saying, obviously, last year Liverpool got the best of Real Madrid at Anfield again, and right around this time, actually. Trent Alexander-Arnold will be making his return to Anfield for the first time as a member of Real Madrid. And there was a lot of talk. Is Trent Alexander-Arnold, is he going to be booed or is he going to be celebrated? My personal opinion, Trent Alexander-Arnold, a player that gave so much to Liverpool as a club, a lot of his time, so many years, delivered a Champions League to Liverpool. I believe that Trent Alexander-Arnold should be celebrated. It's not like he went to a rival in the English Premier League. Didn't go to Chelsea, didn't go to Everton, didn't go to Manchester City, didn't go to Manchester United. Went to Real Madrid. And there's not many players that would turn down going to go play for a club like Real Madrid. He was booed. He was booed by the Liverpool supporters. I, in no shape or form, was impressed by that. I do know it's some tough folks, some tough fans in Liverpool, some of the toughest. And guys, honestly, to be honest with you, if I wasn't a Real Madrid fan, if I wasn't totally obsessed with Madrid, I would probably be a Liverpool fan. Just because of their fans and just what Liverpool represents. But of course, ties to my family, what have you, in Madrid. I love Real Madrid. And very disappointing from Liverpool fans. And not many times do I say that I'm disappointed in Liverpool fans, but disappointed in this time with the way that they welcomed back Trent Alexander-Arnold for all he did for the club. Arne Slot was one that said that he can't control what the fans, and this was before the game, he can't control what the fans would do, but that he would hope that they would cheer him on, and he was very appreciative of all that Trent Alexander-Arnold had done for Liverpool. The goal came in the 61st minute by a header of Alexis McAllister, the World Cup winning Argentine international. But really, from start to finish, this was a game that Real Madrid had no business playing in. They didn't look good. Mbappe struggled to do anything. I don't even think he got a shot in the game. Vinicius Jr. was locked down. They tried bringing in Rodrigo. He couldn't really do much. The hero for Real Madrid was Thibaut Courtois with so many saves. If it wasn't for Thibaut Courtois, this game easily could have been a 5 or maybe even 6-0 defeat for Real Madrid if they didn't have one of the best goalkeepers in the world. We look at the stats here. In terms of possession, Madrid had more, 61-38, but we all know that that doesn't define a match. Shots on goal, 9 for Liverpool compared to Madrid's 2. Shot attempts, 17 shots for Liverpool and only 8 for Madrid. Yellow cards, 4 for Madrid, 1 for Liverpool. 8 saves for Real Madrid, 2 for Liverpool. You know, it was really a disappointing performance for Madrid. But, you know, I don't blame this on Madrid. I just think Liverpool defensively did their homework, did a good job. They excluded Mbappe from the game, which has been very hard to do as of late. He's been in an incredible run of form. They shut down Vinicius. I mean, we look at here, as I look at the lineups, the left back, Robertson. What a game. What a match. Absolutely shut down Vinicius. And that's not easy to do with the speed and the skill that Vinicius Jr. has. One-on-one with him for 90 minutes plus extra time. You would figure at some point, all right, at some point, Vinicius is going to get the better of me. No, Robertson shut him down all night long. And then, of course, after this game, we learned that Fede Valverde, now dealing with some injuries. Trent Alexander-Arnold was subbed into the game very late. I believe like the last 10 minutes of the game. Trent Alexander-Arnold came into the match. It didn't really make a difference by this point. And it was the way Madrid lined up was Mbappe, Vinicius, Bellingham, Arda Güler, Camavinga, Aurelien Tchouameni, Alvaro Carreras, Steenhausen, Militao, Valverde, and Courtois. And of course, Hausen with a yellow, Carreras with a yellow, Bellingham with a yellow, Vinny with a yellow. Camavinga was the player that came off. Rodrigo came in. Fede Valverde came off. Brahim Diaz came in. I mean, there's not much more that Madrid could have done. Even Jude Bellingham struggled to get into this match. Arda Güler came off for Trent Alexander-Arnold. He is number one right now, I believe, in assists in La Liga. He is just having a phenomenal season. He is becoming a breakout star in Madrid. And, there's not much more. I just have to give credit where credit is due. Liverpool shut down Real Madrid defensively, and don't let that scoreline confuse you. It was a 1-0 again. 1-0 victory from McAllister's header. But Liverpool honestly could have gone away with 5 or 6 goals if it wasn't for Thibaut Courtois. We move on. Arsenal 3-0 over Slavia Prague. Frankfurt 0-0 tie with Napoli. That one's a little bit disappointing. Napoli's having a good season. They're in the top of the Italian Serie A right now. That's a match that I feel that Napoli should have picked up 3 points. Here's another big one. Bayern Munich and the defending European champions, PSG. We know that PSG right now is dealing with some injuries. Obviously, Ballon d'Or winner Ousmane Dembélé has been dealing with some injuries. Now we see Desiree Doué uh, with a big injury as well. Ashraf Hakimi picking up an injury. So a lot of key players for PSG going down. This game started the first goal by Luis Diaz in the 4th minute, scored again in the 32nd, making it 2-0 for the Germans. And then 45 plus 7 before halftime, Diaz picked up a red card on the tackle to Ashraf Hakimi, where he picked up the injury. There was some talk about that. Bayern goes down 10 men. Joao Neves, 74th minute, picks up a goal for PSG, injects some life into them, but it was not enough. Bayern picks up the 2-1 victory over the European champions. And I just want to say, PSG the past year was so dominant. We saw Luis Enrique post-match was very frustrated. You could see that in his expression. But they're really having some struggles with the injuries, and they're really having the injury bug in that locker room in the Parc des Princes. But Bayern, I think Bayern, ever since the FIFA Club World Cup, has been a really solid team. They were a team that, honestly, I could have seen going to win it all at the FIFA Club World Cup. And they've continued that form into this season. And Bayern is looking really good. They're 4-0-0. I'm very impressed with Bayern. I think that if they continue this, which I think they can, I think they're favorites right now to win the Champions League. They got close last year, but I honestly think this year they have a very good chance of doing it. They've got playmakers. They got players that can score. Obviously, Luis Diaz, Harry Kane. No doubt in my mind that Bayern can come up on top this year, even though it's still early in the Champions League campaign. For PSG, they need to really get healthy. And if they get healthy, I think that they can have a run at trying to go for back-to-back Champions League titles. But again, really need to get healthy. Then we have Juventus and Sporting. Juventus is a club that, since Cristiano Ronaldo left, has really fallen off. There's really been a disappointment since CR7 left. I mean, this is a big club. Juve is a big club, and they've fallen off hard in the Serie A, and they've fallen off hard in European competition. I mean, again, no disrespect to Sporting Lisbon, but for a club the magnitude and the size of Juventus, that is a match that they should win. I wouldn't say easily, but they should win that match. So 1-1 draw, disappointing from Juventus. Atletico in my lead against Union SG, 3-1 for Atletico, no surprise there. Bodo against Monaco, 1-0 for Monaco. Olympiacos and PSV Eindhoven, 1-1 draw. That's another one I feel like PSV Eindhoven, with the Dutch talent, right? They should be over Olympiacos in that match. Then we have Tottenham absolute destroying Copenhagen 4-0. And then we moved into the Wednesday match day. This one was very, very disappointing, I think, in my opinion. And I let Blake, obviously from our Plug Talk sports team, I let Blake have it. He is a Chelsea fan. He thinks Caicedo is the best in the world right now. 2-2 draw against FK Qarabag. This is the club that won the FIFA Club World Cup. They're currently 7th in the English Premier League. They pull out this draw, 2-2, against Qarabag in the Champions League. This is another, honestly, another match where it needs to be an easy result for Chelsea. Again, for a club of their magnitude and the players that they have, a 2-2 draw against Qarabag, it's not going to cut it. So very disappointing there from Chelsea. And I feel like it's becoming a common theme throughout this match day because Villarreal loses 1-0 to Pafos, and this is a team that's 3rd in La Liga right now and having a strong start to the campaign domestically, and they drop 1-0 to Pafos. I mean, I think this week for Champions League we're kind of scratching our head, and trust me, it's gonna get more interesting as we go on. yeah, they fall to Paphos, and they're really struggling in Champions League. Manchester City, Borussia Dortmund, no competition there. 4-1 victory for Manchester City. Newcastle United, Athletic Bilbao. It's 2-0 victory for Newcastle United. I would have liked to see Athletic Bilbao get one on the board, try to make this competitive. They're not an easy team to play. I know that from following La Liga closely, obviously. So that was a little bit disappointing as well. Benfica losing 1-0 to Bayer Leverkusen. Leverkusen, since Xabi Alonso left, kind of struggling a little bit as well. Benfica's in total shambles. They're the team that lost in the FIFA Club World Cup to Inter Miami. That was embarrassing. Or excuse me, it was Porto, but Benfica, my apologies there. Benfica not having a good Club World Cup, and they're not having a good start to the season. I know they brought in Jose Mourinho. I know Jose Mourinho is honestly, either you like him or you hate him. There's no in between. I personally like him, but they're just god awful, and they have 0 points so far in the Champions League. Galatasaray, who seems to be a very strong team this year, 3-0 over Ajax Amsterdam. Ajax is another team where it's sad seeing how they were in 2019 with so many great players, and they're usually a club that develops great Dutch talent, has really fallen off as well, and they're another club that's sitting at the bottom of the table with 0 points, and I don't think they're going to be going anywhere in this Champions League. Inter Milan 2-1 over Kairat Almaty. I have to give my respect to Kairat Almaty. They are really trying hard. They tried very hard against Real Madrid. But the finalists, the backups, the runner-ups, however you want to call it, in Europe, Inter Milan only beating them 2-1. Here's the game that, wow. Club Brugge over Football Club Barcelona, a 3-3 draw. And I don't agree with the result. I think that Club Brugge should have defeated Football Club Barcelona. But, of course, there is some talk about VAR, referees, penalties were taken away. Szczesny loses the ball. It was scored. VAR says that the player from Bruges fouled Szczesny, which I think was total bullshit. Excuse my language. Total bullshit. And Barcelona gets saved, but still a 3-3 draw for Football Club Barcelona against Club Brugge. I know Club Brugge, they're no pushovers. I know in recent years when they've played with Real Madrid in Champions League, they've given Madrid a run for the money when they were in the Bernabeu, by the way. So they're no pushovers. But again, club the size, the magnitude of Football Club Barcelona with a player like Lamine Yamal should be a victory, right? And then to end off, it was Atalanta 1-0 over Marseille. Marseille is doing very well domestically in the French Ligue 1, but struggling in the Champions League was a little upsetting. They played very well against Real Madrid in the first match day of this Champions League campaign, so it's a little disappointing to see there. But we look at the next Champions League match days coming up, Tuesday, November the 25th. We have Ajax and Benfica, Galatasaray and Union SG, Dortmund and Villarreal, Napoli and FK Qarabag, Marseille and Newcastle, Manchester City and Leverkusen, Bodo against Juventus. This one will be very good. Chelsea against Football Club Barcelona, Slavia Prague and Athletic Bilbao, Olympiacos and Real Madrid. This is on Wednesday, November 26th now. Paphos and Monaco, Copenhagen and Kairat Almaty, PSG and Tottenham. That'll be a great game to watch as well. Liverpool and PSV Eindhoven, Eintracht Frankfurt and Atalanta. This is another marquee match. I'm telling you guys right here. Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, Sporting Lisbon, Club Brugge. This is a great match to watch right here. Arsenal and Bayern Munich. So those are the games to watch out for in the Champions League coming up the 25th and the 26th of November. That's the next match day. But we're going to move in to a little bit of domestic talk here. And we're talking about Major League Soccer. And can you believe it? I can't, guys. I can't believe it, but can you believe it? Uh, Luis Suarez suspended once again. What a shocker. I think, obviously, you guys know his brouhaha that he had in the League's Cup final against Seattle Sounders that got him suspended several games. And then he had this whole written apology that how it's, it's an embarrassment when he acts this way, and it hurts his family. And, he's very sorry. Well, folks, I guess that apology wasn't genuine and went down the drain. Look, Luis Suarez is a great striker. We all know that. He's a very smart, high IQ soccer player. We all know that. But we also do know, aside from that, and it hurts his legacy, is that he is a very dirty player. And his antics were right back at it again. And in this game, too, the first round series against Nashville at Geodis Park last weekend, he's running into the box, and he kind of lifts his leg back on purpose and catches his Nashville defender, his Nashville mark, right in the area where we as men do not want to be hit. And he goes down immediately. There was nothing at the moment. VAR looked at it, didn't do anything. And but MLS disciplinary committee comes out and said, yeah, no. Luis Suarez did that on purpose, and he is now suspended for Inter Miami's match, Game 3, this Saturday at Chase Stadium against Nashville. And this is winner take all. We'll get into that a little bit, but who is Luis Suarez's backup? Fafa Picot? Do you really trust Allende, who's missing tap-ins right in front of the net? You literally just put your team in jeopardy to have another embarrassing first round exit. Folks, we should not be paying this man. We shouldn't. He shouldn't be playing 90 minutes. He doesn't even have the legs anymore. It's a disgrace. He's an idiot. It is a disgrace. And God be with this team. Because we all know that if Lionel Messi doesn't come to save the day, if Lionel Messi doesn't show up and be Messi, if Messi has an off day Saturday, and if he doesn't get help, oh boy, we might see another first round exit for Inter Miami. And that is going to be abysmal, a disgrace, embarrassing, that they cannot get past the first round if it happens. And I'll have a lot more to say on that next week if that does happen. It's going to be embarrassing. But with that, let's talk about MLS playoffs. Let's see how things are shaking up. Excuse me. Tomorrow, winner takes all. 7 p.m. Charlotte and NYCFC. I'm going to have to go with Charlotte here. I'm rooting for Charlotte. I think they've had a great season. I see them going through. Then Saturday, of course, 8 o'clock p.m., Miami, Nashville, winner takes all. You want me to predict it? It's going to be hard to predict this, man, because Nashville's more than capable. They've got some players. They're more than capable. But we know Miami at home is a strong team, very hard to beat at Chase Stadium. God, I hope I'm right. But I'm going to go with Inter Miami moving on to the next round and eliminate Nashville and end their season and campaign this year. But like I said, I would not be surprised if the result goes the other way. It would not shock me And if people say, oh, you picked Inter Miami and you were wrong, I won't be mad about it. I said, you know what? Watch this episode. Watch Pressing Matters, episode number 7. Watch it back. I said I would not be surprised. So I'm going to pick Miami, but I will not be shocked if Nashville wins. Minnesota, Seattle, winner takes all. Minnesota had a good year, but it's also Seattle. They've got good players, and they know how to win in the playoffs. I'm going to go with the Seattle Sounders. And then we have FC Cincinnati and the Columbus Crew, winner take all. That's another tough one to predict, honestly. 2 good clubs. But I'm going FC Cincinnati to move on to the second round. And, folks, we have some teams already in the second round. LAFC's in the second round. Philadelphia Union's in the second round. Vancouver Whitecaps are in the second round. We are now just waiting for the slate on Saturday. And, of course, Sunday, there is another game. That game is San Diego and Portland, winner take all. I'm going to go Portland. Phil Neville and his boys. Portland Timbers, again, another club that knows how to win in the playoffs. This is San Diego's inaugural year. Lacking experience. So I'm going with the Timbers. And that is our update on the MLS playoffs. Again, we'll wait those games Saturday and Sunday to see how the second round will finally be official and take shape. And, guys, it's time for our Team of the Week. Your Team of the Week is going to be Club Brugge. No other than Club Brugge. They face the giants of Football Club Barcelona in the Champions League. David against Goliath. Lamine Yamal and Football Club Barcelona obviously still kind of shaken up after losing a Clásico. They came back at the weekend, defeated Elche, even though Elche scored, but they picked up the victory, and this was rocky for them. Club Brugge really, really put a dent into Football Club Barcelona's defense. Reporters asked Hansi Flick after the match of, hey, maybe it's time that you switch the way that this high line is playing for Football Club Barcelona, because they're not doing well defensively this season and they're really getting hurt. Hansi Flick says, we're not going to change the way Football Club Barcelona works. So you know what? If you want to die on that hill and die on that sword, then so be it. But Club Brugge really did not give up, no matter how many times Football Club Barcelona punched back. I watched the match. Honestly, it was a very exciting game. I think it was my favorite match of the week. Obviously, Real Madrid lost, and Bayern and PSG was a good match. But I think that this was the most exciting match to watch on this match day week for the Champions League. And Club Brugge and their fans, even though they were upset and said there was highway robbery from UEFA and VAR and that they should have won this match, and I totally agree. They should be very proud of their team. They played one hell of a match. Every time Football Club Barcelona had a response and scored a goal, they punched right back to take the lead. And again, like I said, I believe that they should have won this match. But again, if I say that, people are just saying, oh, you're just a sad Madrid fan complaining against Barcelona and referees. But no, really, go back, folks, watch the highlights, and you'll see why Club Brugge is our team. Well, everybody, that concludes episode number 7 of Pressing Matters with myself, Daniel Torres. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode and enjoying everything, all the content on the Plug Talk Sports Network, everything that we have going on. Again, tomorrow, Plug Picks, Lujanka, fifth round with Isaac on Saturday, and one-timers on Sunday with Blake to round out the week before we head into a brand new week of shows, starting off with the Plug Talk Sports live show on Monday. But again, God bless you guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, watching, all the love and support. Follow all of our social media. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday for episode number 8 of Pressing Matters.